Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
My name is Glory Hector. Right, so I would want to learn how to build a career path and how to be relevant in my career.
Okay.
I'm an accountant.
An accountant. Okay. Good. Okay, I'll take the last one. Okay, and one more. Yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
My name is Apolline. I would like to learn how to navigate my path in career-wise because currently, I transitioned from accounting to HR. So right now, that's just the path. So I just want to know how to navigate my way in the phase.
Okay. Okay. So it's all from change. We're somewhere and we want to go into somewhere. I'll start from primary school to secondary school. That phase is challenging. Every transition phase has a challenge. When you are going from primary 1 to primary 2 to primary 3 to primary 4, 5, you don't study as hard. When you now get to maybe primary 6, you want to go into Form 1, there's a different level of studying. In same way from being from secondary school to university, big hurdle. You have the ones who are doing JAMB or WAEC or one subject, whatever. So every transition phase comes with this challenge. When my daughter was 5, she was going to go into primary school. From nursery to primary school, 4, not in primary school. Went for the assessment. They brought her out in tears. She was crying. For her at 4, that was the biggest thing she was doing in her life. So every transition phase comes with this challenge that we have to be prepared for. Now, I'll start from those of us that are in school. If you're studying, you want to go from your undergraduate to your into the workforce. And if you're going from one job to the other, changing from one industry to the other, the strategies are similar, if not all the same. We've touched on a lot of it earlier today, and now it's just now to expatiate. So I'm hoping that what I'm hoping for, my expectation from you, is that you will leave here with notes applicable to you on how you begin to start. I haven't done a set framework of slides, no. I want us to be able to here and now interpret what you're being told to how it applies to you personally. So please take action points. If there's a strategy raised, take action points on how it's applicable to you. If you need to clarify a bit more, please ask me on how you can interpret that to you so that you can live here with a framework of what to work with pertaining to you. Because a lot of times we come to these things and we all write down, but we don't apply it. So apply how it's applicable to you as an individual. I'll start with the first one. Have a vision. Do we have visions for where we're going? We bring it back to our faith. Habakkuk, he says what? See the vision, write it down, make it plain, so that he that readeth will run with it. Do you have a vision of where you want your career to go? So the first thing you need to have, is a vision. Amazing Grace, do you have a vision? You say you want to know more about career. When you think, is that something you think about, because this is what I want to do? Do you have thoughts of what you want to do? You have an image in your head. So go home, write it down. Or even while you're right now, I think if you have a notepad and pen, I'll give you mine. So whatever that is, write it down. Whatever vision you have for yourself, if you don't have one right now, please make a note of the first thing, because if you don't have a vision for yourself, you're going to be running wild. So now just imagine you are on the road now. You need a lift, or you are trying to get for public transport. If you don't know where you are going, do you know what bus to go on? You're waiting for transport. If you don't know where you are going, do you know what bus to go on? So now a bus now comes. Maybe you're now in Apapa, and then it's heading for Isolo. You get to Isolo, you're thinking, this place is not familiar. Meanwhile, it's Lekki you're trying to get to. So do you have a vision for your career? When I was in university, I was a pure science student. When I thought of where I wanted to go, I saw myself corporate. But I was a pure science student. Physics, chemistry, biology. All I knew was science. I did my final year. I was in the lab morning to evening, doing one thing or the other. But I knew that was how I wanted to work. What do? I'm still not deciding what to do, whatever. I go on to do a master's. But I thought, okay, maybe marketing. And someone said to me, do international management. He says it covers all. It covers marketing, it covers finance, it covers HR, it covers the industry. That through that, then you have a better idea When I was done with that, I thought to myself, okay, marketing, maybe. When I applied and I got the job, I was using my science knowledge, and I was there corporately talking to doctors. I felt complete. Because in my mind, even though I didn't know exactly what it was, but I had an image of how I want to work. Reason is, when the opportunity comes, when you have a vision, when the opportunity comes, then you can identify it. If you don't have a vision, the opportunity will come and it will pass you by because you won't recognize it. So what vision do you have for yourself? What interests do you have? And that's where also, through that right now, self-awareness or self-assessment comes in. Someone talks about how do I know what my interest is, or how do I know what my... You think about that. It doesn't have to be... You think of the simplest things. Femi said, well, what's that thing you do that you can do for free? What are those things that you enjoy doing? What are those things you have in... A mine came in for an interview, and she's like, oh, this is your building, whatever, ceiling is a little bit low, is this that? She was an architect. So for her, anywhere she went, she would see those fault lines. For me, I'm thinking, the building is how? It's not my calling, it's not my interest. I had no, as far as I was concerned, a building was fine. What interests do you have? What things do you enjoy doing? What things are you curious about? What principles, values, how well do you know yourself? So the next thing that you have to do self-assessment. Because even at that, even for the course to even study, because you have those who may end up in the wrong course. Why? Because, like I said to you, growing up, in our time, in as much as in my mind, I had also had, when I was younger, to be an air hostess. But in our generation, it wasn't that so. Either you were doing medicine, you were doing law, you were doing pharmacy, you were doing engineering, the things our parents understood. But that innate thing in me, it didn't die. Because now, 30 plus years on, I'm in hospitality. And I'm right at home. I am right at home. A couple of years ago, my sister said to me, weekends, I would bake things, I would cook things. I was happy when I was looking after people and entertaining the family and all of that. But then I was, at the time, working in HR consulting. In consulting, we were paid well. You would do 2-3 days consulting, they would pay you 2 million, 3 million, you made your good money. My sister says, maybe you should start baking. I said, how many cupcakes will I bake? Then cupcakes were 350. Before I earned 1 million. And I laughed and almost died from laughter. Without thinking, how many cupcakes am I going to bake? But here I am today. I'm making cupcakes, but on another level. Of how you can grow that interest, you recognize it, but you have to know yourself. Research, spend time. So now you're not thinking, because someone said, I'm an accountant, I've gone from accounting to HR. Research the industry. You have to read. Because even the profile of an accountant is totally different from HR. Accountants, you're not people, though. You're not. All you want is your money, whatever. In fact, when I was in marketing and accounting, we used to quarrel because why? Marketing were people. Would I want to go and promise the company outside, give them accounts, say, where is our money? HR were concerned about the people, their welfare. So your mindset, there has to be a paradigm shift from how you're thinking as an accountant to how you're being in HR. But that's the first thing, your mindset. So you have to understand how that industry works, how that sector works, and it comes from lots of reading. My sister-in-law at the time was doing a course doing a culinary course and all. They both said to me, Mommy, if you sell it, if you bake it, I will sell it for you in church. Me, I'm an opportunist. So I started baking. I did a logo. I did business name. Did a logo and all of that. We started selling in church. I get a phone call one day. I hear you run a bakery. I almost fainted. I can tell you, I'm an opportunist. I said, yes. My daughter, I didn't know, was marketing me in her school. Her friend's mother called me and said, we want to do 200 packets of cookies. That with their realtors, they have an open house that they would do it for. I ran with it. We started baking. Back and forth, bake, tied it up, did it nicely, and said to her, The woman says to me, Chinese woman, she says, look, I have a friend who normally does this, but yours are better than hers, so I'm going to be using yours. It was my 13-year-old child. Then she will come, oh, mommy, $2. My friends, they said they want a Nigerian sausage rolls. They said what? Meanwhile, there was a cafe, Starbucks, right next to their school. But they will come to me, from my child. I said, I can do this as a business. So I'll do 1 2-day course here, 1 2-day course here. I said, okay, let me even do a cafe, learn how to make coffee, different types of coffees from my 13-year-old child. The first brownies I made, I overbaked it so badly. My daughter said to me, mommy, it tastes nice, but next time don't bake it for as long. She couldn't bake, but she knew how to eat it. She said, don't bake it as long next time. And that worked. You have to apply yourselves. Today, a business is built on that. I don't have a certificate in baking, but I read and I practice. I make mistakes, I cry, I fall down, and I get up and I get on with it. So that learning, I cannot underrate how much that learning is. We all have, for those that have maybe access to all sorts of things, you stream and watch all things, or stream and watch all things. Do you stream and watch things pertaining to your careers online? Only movie. In my house, they think I'm boring. I must watch Food Network at least once a day, even if it's just to look at what they're doing there. Somehow, six in them. I was baking a cake for a customer in Apapa here at the time. I was in Apapa here. So I wanted it for Valentine's morning, so I would bake and I would deliver in the morning. At about midnight or maybe 1 a.m., I was finishing the cake and I ran out of icing. There was not enough icing. I was going to be in tears. God, what do I do? From the things I had watched online, there was when I learned about naked cakes. So you don't put as much icing on the body. You just put a little coat, the body shows, and I had enough icing to finish the top. That's how my signature cake for my business started, naked cakes. Through and because I had seen it somewhere. At midnight, where there was nowhere to go and buy the things I needed, that knowledge played. So when you are learning, it will come to play somewhere. It may not be knowledge for today, it will be knowledge for another day. And then when there's an error, the thing with knowledge, it helps you apply, know how to deal with the errors at whatever point. So there is no knowledge that is lost. So I can't underrate the knowledge and transferable skills. Networking, next thing. When I started baking, there were lots of food shows and things at the time. Whatever. So I used to register to go to all those ones, whatever, to make myself. I didn't have a brick and mortar store. So that was how I started getting customers. People will call me, they'll try my things. You have to make yourself visible. Today, if a friend, parent, or God knows, whatever, passes on or has to go and visit or something in the house, I would always go with one of my baked items. The one item I know that cuts across, I'll go whatever, make sure through that, it gives me visibility. Today, I said, look at me, dress up. 6 out of 7 days in the week, you will find me in my uniform. I don't wear this. You will find me with my uniform. So it creates an avenue to network. It creates an avenue to start discussing with people. Oh, are you a chef? No, a pastry chef. And we start to talk. So your networking is ongoing. There is nowhere I will go to or somebody I will talk to that somehow my business does not come up. Be it young, be it old, whatever, it comes up. You have to actively network. When you go for a job interview, you are selling yourself. It's a sales transaction. Why? You come to me, whatever, I'm thinking, what can I benefit from her? And you're thinking, what can I benefit from the business? It is a sales transaction. Now, you may not, I have people who have come for interviews who I couldn't hire, but I've referred them to other people or other companies because they have skills that other people have. So for every meeting that you leave, someone ever, is that networking? What are you leaving behind about yourself? Attend, look for, put your ear down, go online. If there are events or meetings or things concerning your industry, attend. Look for how you can make a way that attend, whatever you have to know. There will be always something to learn. There's somebody you can network with, somebody you can leverage on. But you have to put yourself out there. You have to put yourself out there. There's something that you gain more so within your industry. So I also kept abreast of new things within your field. So you are relevant with the knowledge that you have within your field. So networking is key. Even in sales, say people buy from people. The person that's going to hire you is another individual. The person that's going to recommend you is somebody else. So you have to network. You have to leverage on the people around you. Um, Another thing I want to point on is about, okay, so we've acquired the knowledge, which is good, but can you apply it? Can you now apply the knowledge? So sometimes you may not have the opportunity for paid employment. If you can volunteer, if you can intern, do that. I have a 14-year-old girl who just interned me for 3 weeks. So even the young ones are doing that now. So find somewhere. It's not saying whatever, just so that you have an insight, to be sure that you even have, that you have good understanding of the knowledge you say you've gained. You know how to apply the knowledge you have gained. Volunteer on intern. It gives you an inroad. People will say, oh, abolish NYSC. I'm one of those who are against, I'm totally against it. Yes, there are trials when they have to travel, but I'm telling you, it's the easiest inroad for you to be seen. Because it gives you a chance to prove yourself. The company is going, I'm just paying minimum, whatever, but then you give yourself to showcase your skills, your character, who you are. So I am so adverse to them abolishing NYSC. Because there are many people who would not have the opportunity to go into such companies if not for NYSC. So wherever you find yourself, the Bible says, whatever your hand finds to do, do it and do it well. That mastery, no one can take it away from you. You live with that skills. If you're now currently on a job, you're saying, well, it's not my father's company. Don't worry, that's fine. But it's your time, and time is life. If you're wasting your time, you are wasting your life. Wherever you are, do the best that you can. When I worked in HR, when I worked in a consulting firm, there are two things I learned. I learned what to do and what not to do. I'm thinking, when I run my own business, I won't work this way. My boss was a last-minute.com person. If we're not running from pillar to post, we haven't started yet. I said, that I will not do. But there are so many other things I learned while I worked in the consulting firm. So you learn what to do and what not to do. We knew we were doing a lot of trainings. It will now be 24 hours the training. We're chasing the printer. I'm thinking, but we know that we will do training. If not today, we'll do training tomorrow. So I said, going forward, you will have your training materials ready, or your folders, your this or that ready, so we won't do this. And then it now makes the job seem more tedious than it is. So instead of now focusing on content, we're focusing on packaging, on things that are relevant. And these are things that are not perishable. The folders can always be there. So this is now talking of time management. So all those things, I said, one thing I will do better is better time management. So wherever you are right now, there is definitely something for you to learn that will be a platform for wherever you're going. Either what to do or what not to do. So that interning and volunteering, very important. So when you've done all of that, update your resume. There are people who come and apply. I'm looking at their CV. They're talking about things they're not in the CV. Oh, I did that, but I haven't updated my CV. You've come for a job today, and you brought an old CV. I said, they are fortunate that something on your CV has caught my eye, because otherwise, you now haven't updated your new skills. You don't get shortlisted, you wonder why. Oh, I was in a hurry, I thought the job went, whatever, I didn't know how to. Because what the CV does, what the shortlist does, gives an insight. Okay, this is what this person already knows, what they've done. So if you don't update it, you've already eliminated yourself. So please make sure you update whatever CV you have up to your current position or up to your current experience, you have it there on your CV. So update your CV. Personal branding, I talk about personal branding, whatever. For those of you that are online, please, beyond Instagram, you see there are things, we Google everything. We search on people. I don't want to be gender biased, but I'll talk to you ladies. There are people who apply for jobs. When I see their image on Instagram, I don't shortlist them. Call me judgmental or whatever, it happens. The new young men as well, the ones where you want to look like a gangster online, you won't get shortlisted. Yeah. So you want to call it right or wrong, it happens. People will Google you. And then I had years ago a young girl who, a young lady who applied for a job when the consulting firm I worked on. Her email address put me off, Aliyah wannabe. So, yeah. Told me of the level of seriousness of that young lady. Aliyah wannabe was her email yeah. So please, because look about social media, there is positive, there is negative, and there is so much negative impressions out there. So please, your online presence is very, very important. On the flip side now, on the professional side, LinkedIn, career people, you must have a LinkedIn account. Because also the opportunities you have, even for when you now put all your interests and preferences, when there are vacancies, they all come up. You get flagged off. So for career-wise, you have to have a good LinkedIn profile. It's It's very, very key. And update that. Be active there. So people may write, maybe somebody may post something concerning, maybe they will write maybe an article, whatever, like it, read it, whatever, things that you get seen that way. So increase your social media presence positively, especially for corporate people, please, for career people on LinkedIn. You have to have that as well. Yeah? We talked about mentoring before. Mentoring is key. Because beyond this session today is ongoing. It's a guide. It helps. They give you guidance. They give you support. They give you support. So you need that. You need somebody who will provide good support for you, who you look up to. You know who has made their pathway through that. Please, it's very, very key. Because even if you do the transition today, it's ongoing. So I've gotten this job. How do I maintain? How do I grow? So you need that person that you have easy access to, that can give the support needed, the guide needed, whatever, and the knowledge as well that you need, and even just the encouragement all through. And then in all of that, I would say, I'll summarize and say, stay positive, be resilient. It is challenging out there. For every job vacancy that you have, whatever, there probably be 20, 30, 40 other people that are applying for that same job. So that one may not be yours, another may be yours, but to be dogged and to continue and stay positive, whatever. One of my strong quotes in life is that your life moves towards your most predominant thoughts. If your thoughts are negative, you will see all the problems that are there. If your thoughts are positive, you would see a positive even in negative. It's been a pleasure here. I wish you all the best, and hope we'll meet again soon. Thank you very much.
We can do better than that. Thank you so much, Ma, for this. In as much as I was in and out, I know that there are a lot of things that stuck with me. Being ready for opportunities, learning and paying attention to your time, and when those opportunities come, do whatever you're doing, do it well, manage your time well, manage your social media accounts. There's so many things that stuck with me in this class. We have 7 minutes to ask questions. Please, if you have a question, please raise up your hand.
Good evening. My name is Grace, and I'm a graduate. I recently graduated from the university as a med lab scientist. And before I entered the university, I didn't even know what I wanted to study. It was my mom that suggested, okay, why don't you study med lab science? I didn't know what med lab science was. That was the first time of me hearing med lab science. So I researched. I did my personal research on med lab science, and I didn't even have interest. I just decided to do it for doing sake, because I've not really discovered myself yet. I didn't know what I wanted. So as time went, I fell in love with med lab science. I developed interest in med lab science, and I still want to do more. But I was still discovering myself. And I found out that I love to sing. That's one. I love to cook. I like experimenting with food. I like trying new things. I like mixing things up. There are a lot of recipes on my phone. I always tell myself, whenever I get my own house, my own kitchen, I'm going to look at all those videos I've saved and try them, put one or two together. And I also love to express myself when writing. I just discovered something new. I've discovered, and I still want to do more. I fell in love with med lab science. I still want to do more in med lab science, career-wise. But I still want to discover more of myself. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. But how can they were talking about gifts. Yeah. So I don't know if me singing and all those things I mentioned, if it's a gift or it's just an interest. And what advice will you give someone like me? Yes.
So, MedLife, you've done that. It's an investment. You're still thinking. Use that one as you're thinking. Get a job in MedLife, first of all. You know why? It brings you money. If you want to be cooking on the side, you're going to buy ingredients. So first of all, earn an income. to do those whatever. Singing. When you wake up, how often do you sing, even within yourself? It's part of you. But I'll tell you, okay, it's part of you. Are you in a choir in church? Okay. So you're in choir in church. Partly. Do you have time for that? Are you working at the moment? Yeah. You see, the reason why I said there are many things we may like and have interest in, but at the end of the day, the reality of today. So my daughter has just finished her course in performing arts and says she wants to be a master's in screen acting. A couple of days ago, she says, Mommy, I have a passion. I love wigs. I have a passion for wigs. I'm going to start selling wigs. I said, let's go and withdraw your school fees from where you're doing your master's. No. I said, you know what? I said, everybody is selling wig from the woman in the market to wherever. There's one I just said, they said there's one they call naked, the one without a bag. But I said, that's why you want to go into where everybody can sell wig, whatever. I said, how about you do a training, Easter, maybe Christmas, Easter, summer, acting classes for children, 5 days a week, maybe 10 days of the holiday, pay 150 each, you have 10 children, you have 1.5 million, easy in your pocket. You're just telling them, smile here, do so, Mom, I don't have an interest in teaching. I said, you will find it. I said, but you have bills to pay. Yeah. Interest is one thing. Today, you need money. Is that singing going to bring money for you right now? Please, don't get it twisted. There are interests, yes, but you have to think of what is relevant for today. So first off, you've invested time and money in your midlife. There's return on investment. While you are doing that, you'll discover other things, whatever. So, but first of all, because for nothing else, you need to feed, clothes, and all of that, you need money. So first of all, get that. There is interest, there is like. It's when you have wants and needs. I may like, you may want something, you may need something. There are two different things. You're driven by your need. Is that today, you need money. MedLife, you talk about cooking, and MedLife is also science. I beg, science and cooking, they're all together. This is all part of it right now. Singing, many of us, because they're all creatives today. In my house, if anybody had told me another child who I thought was going to be maybe design one day has done fashion design, I say, okay, they're all creatives. But you think of how, make that thing relevant today. If you tell me that you can step into right now a music contract that will pay your bills, great. But that, there are many that will fall by the wayside. It will not be you, but for what you have in your hand right now, use it and be practical with that while you're discovering yourself at the same time.
Sorry, I have another question. Yeah, so recently I was thinking about, because I discovered a lot of people make money from TikTok and social media from content. So I was thinking, what if I use some of these interests, like singing, what if I monetize it or capitalize on it using TikTok? Yeah. For instance, like now, I've seen a lot of TikTokers using their talents on TikTok, and they're making a lot of money on TikTok. So I was thinking of making more of like a versatile like video. One video I can sing, one video I can cook, one video I can just talk on TikTok, like express myself on TikTok while doing MedLab. Do you think what advice will you give?
You can do it like that. If you do your 9 to 5, you want to welcome because my daughter does things online. If you say maybe in the evening, after you have done you have earned an income during the day, that in the night, it's up to you, whatever. But like I said, but you have to have something bringing in the income. Yes, there are many making money on TikTok. There are thousands not making money on TikTok. Think about that. Use your time wisely. My young guy working with me right now during the day, Carl is falling asleep on his feet. I know what he's doing at night. I said, Carl, you're not doing this one, doing day, no, at night. The one you're doing at night right now, is he paying you? So it's that. But there are still so many. The same way you see your Davido and who, there are thousands more that haven't made it there. Use what is in your hand.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Please, I'm a 300 level law student in the university, And lately, I've not really been. At first, when I entered the course, I didn't like it as much. I just did it as, it's one of the best courses that you can offer as an art student. And now I've discovered that I really like, writing articles, poems, and the likes of it. Now, you talked about social media branding. And normally, I'm not really a social person, as to say. I like to stay on my own. But now I want to reach out to an audience, my audience, and bring out, create awareness for myself. Please, how do you, can you advise me on how to go about that, social media-wise?
So before you go on social media, work on yourself physically. Start to talk to the physical ones around you. Start from there first. Be more sociable with the ones around you. When you're more sociable with the ones around you, you know how to present yourself, even to your legal field. I find a lot of you young ones will go out, or we're out, the house full of people, yeah, they're talking to people online. I tell my children, how about the human beings around you here first? Start talking to her. See how she responds to you before you go to faceless one. Because now another thing, now don't go and put yourself under pressure. You will post one thing, nobody will respond, you start to feel depressed. They're not liking your thing. You've used your hand to look for a problem. Because we're looking for likes. Yeah. So start with the humans around you first. First of all, when you said I'm level 3, I thought you wanted to say that you would drop out of the law. I already got them that finish the law first of all. There's all of that, whatever. So start with, because even with your law, you're going to be a people person with who your clients are, whatever. So start with the human beings around you. Keep it to yourself. Then, honestly, but on a more serious note, whatever, the social media, it's a dangerous place. It's a dangerous place. Because you get hooked on, we wake up looking for likes. Even at my age, I post one cake. How many people have liked this my cake now? But if I now post a personal picture, hey God, I said, but you know what? I'm not pushing my personal brand, it's my cakes or whatever. So I leverage on both. So now, before now, I won't do anything personal. But to get them interested, so I do a bit of both. Or both, whatever. Push the cakes, then push maybe other personal things I'm doing, whatever. But I will tell you on a more serious note, start with the physical people around you. Get your own self-confidence before you now venture into whatever, before you venture into social media. Careful there, because that thing you're looking for, you have to find, why am I not doing it to people around? Why am I keeping it to myself? Start with that first. What is making you keep to yourself? Why? So don't think you'll find the answer on social media, because now if you want that acceptance, find it around yourself. You don't, because the last thing was you now go and post one thing, people start to tear you down. The crazy place. Twitter people are mad, though. They're not normal human beings, though. I read people's comments and I want to dodge myself and say, because Nigerians were something else. When I'm telling myself, I said, not on Twitter, but so for some interest, I will see one comment and I will close it. I don't know who the person is, but the things that, so be careful, because if people want to tear you down, because right now, the one that is worrying me, tasteless, I will go and point out on social media. So before you go out there, whatever, deal with the best people God has put around you. Start from there first. Work on yourself, build your self-confidence, be more sociable, then use your social media presence for your career in time to come.
Wow.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Apolline. So I just want to ask this, what are the odds moving from one career to another? So while job hunting, I had this family friend of mine that told me that you need to look for opportunities, job opportunities that would make you be in line with what you studied in school. So I studied accounting, and now I'm into HR at my firm. I just want to understand the odds moving from one career to another, just to balance it up, because you spoke about international management, and you said it's all revolves around human resource, human management, I think also business administration and the likes. I just want to understand how it balances with life.
So for me, like I said, at the time, why I did that international management was because I wasn't sure what sector I wanted to go into. So my course covered both human resources, it covered marketing, it covered finance, it covered accounting, so the various aspects of running a business. So now, in trying to now apply my science background to what sector I wanted to be in, because even when I worked in Mayor and Baker at the time, we had people in accounting, we had people in marketing, so I could have gone as a pharmacologist into any of those, whatever, but what my interest in was in marketing. People say things you have to work along your field. No. If I think of where I started from and where I am today, I can write a book. Things evolve. Even we as people, we evolve. When I was doing my master's, there was a question in HR. Money is the motivating factor discussed. I wrote from the mindset of a student. What would you tell me then? They would say, come and take a job where they pay 50K. Take a job where they pay 250K. It was a no-brainer. But if I was to write that paper again today, if I had that mindset, I won't be running my own business. It is easier to be, for me, at some point, I feel it's easier to be in paid employment, I remain there, but then the fulfillment I get from having built a business from scratch in my hands, money can't buy that.